Hi, everyone. Welcome to rePLAY Commercial Integrator Expo 2024, otherwise known as CIX. I'm Steph Beckett. I am managing editor of rAVe Pubs, and with me is Megan Dutta.
Hi, I am the editor-in-chief of Launch Code, our emerging technology publication, and I'm so excited to talk about Commercial Integrator Expo with you today, Steph.
Thanks. Yeah. So, of course, yesterday we replayed Cedia Expo, which is all of the luxury high-end residential, but also this show is co-located with that show, and this one is a little bit more of the resi-mercial and light commercial, your bars, your restaurants, your hotels, those kind like products for those kind of installs. And this is also something that's so fun to talk about. The show is in its second year, and it was a great success. It is, it's still a little bit smaller, but it is getting bigger and bigger each year. And from everything from the products that were there to the education that led up to the show, I think that the Emerald team is really excited about where this is going to go from here. So, yeah, Megan, I'm so excited to just kind of talk about a few of these products that really, really stood out to us. Most of these also won awards from the rAVe team because we just thought they were so cool. And yeah.
Steph, so I wasn't at the show for full disclosure. I've just been watching the coverage through rAVe Pubs, but what did you think was the biggest difference from last year to this year?
That's a good question. I think it was just in the clarity between the two shows. So it was just such a distinct, yes, this is Cedia Expo, and these manufacturers have brought mostly residential or just both. But the Commercial Integrator Expo, a lot of those in that section were really, really focusing on like commercial first. So I thought that that was really cool. And I think that the education and all of the panels that led up to the expo also helped to like make that clear. I think that also the fact that there were more manufacturers in the CIX section this year definitely helped that as well. So yeah, it's looking good. I think it's just one of those things that gets a little bit bigger every year, and I'm excited to see where it, how big it grows next year.
Yeah, and I want to hear more about it. So let's bring on our first guest today. You actually got a chance to chat with Jason McGraw from Emerald, which owns Commercial Integrator Expo and Cedia Expo. So let's bring him on and see what you guys have to say.
Sounds good. For our first segment of today, I would like to invite on Jason McGraw. Welcome, Jason. How are you?
Hey, Steph. Great to be with you today. I'm doing fine, thanks.
So tell me, have you gotten some sleep since Cedia Expo and CIX?
A little. I've only been home for a day. I had to go to Las Vegas after Denver last week, so a lot of travel. But man, what a fantastic week in Denver! What an incredible show and event. We were very excited. So I'm still reeling. It seems like a dream at this point, but
Yes,
good dream.
still kind of living off the high of that. So yeah, tell me a little bit about the show for those who couldn't make it and are watching now. Like tell me, I think that the vibe on the show floor, like for lack of a better term, was just absolutely electric. People seemed so excited and so ready to dive in this year. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot like our 23 show. The show's similar in size and attendance. A few more exhibitors, especially on the CIX side this year. All the major brands on the show floor showing new products. Really some stunning exhibit displays. Great content programs. Awesome keynote. Smart stage sessions. CD awards with the CD Pro band. There was a lot happening and a lot of smiling faces all around the show. Really was a terrific event, and I wish more folks who hadn't been there will plan to come next year because we'll be back in Denver. But one heck of a week and a lot to see and do. There was a lot to take in
Yeah.
over 3+ days.
A lot to see and do. And now on the CIX side, so this is its second year, as a show existing and, co-located with Cedia Expo. So for Commercial Integrator Expo, you mentioned there were even more manufacturers on this side of the show floor. Are there any trends you noticed on that side that surprised you?
Well, it's not surprising. I mean, we have a plan. We're adding more commercial brands to exhibit together at CDI Expo and Commercial Integrator Expo. So we had 50% increase in the space year over year on the CIX side. More diversity of products. I mentioned LED. We had some shade manufacturers in there, mount manufacturers,
Yeah.
lighting, signal processing. Good variety, some digital signage, some collaborative conferencing solutions. It's definitely adding to the product category mosaic at the combined event, right? So there's more
Yeah.
opportunity for that growing number of residential integrators that are doing commercial work, residential work, to see more products at one time, one place. And at the same time, there's hundreds of brands at the combined shows that are not exhibiting at other shows. So if you're a commercial
Yeah.
integrator, you got an opportunity to see some brands and some solutions that maybe you're not catching at other shows. And and then there's the continuation of the large brands that we have at CDI Expo that are showing both, right? They're showing commercial and residential products, whether it's Sony or Legrand, Lutron, Crestron, Origin Acoustics. I mean, they're all showing products that could be appropriate in either a residential or a commercial setting, or some of those spaces in between. Whether it's hospitality, retail, higher education, where you have a variety of different applications, not just a classroom or a boardroom. And so we're seeing definitely the crossover integration of these different technologies and who's installing them, who's designing them, and so forth. So I think that's part of the synergy that we have growing with Commercial Integrator Expo and CEDIA Expo together. These exhibitors together on the same show floor, expanded content offering with the CEDIA conference program and the CIX conference program. And then on our smart stage this year, we had, topics that were across the universe, right? Commercial,
Yeah.
residential, digital signage, conferencing, etc. So we were very pleased this year with the content, the representation of exhibitors, and definitely continue to grow the show for the benefit of the industry.
Yeah, I think that you guys are really filling an important hole in the market because there's nowhere else for people to really come and bring both. And there's not always a ton of space for those companies that don't have different lines. They just have this product and it fits in a commercial setting and it fits in a residential setting. So I think it's really important what you guys are doing and continuing to shine a light on those kind of products in the industry. It's going to make the lives of CIs easier. It's going to make the lives of integrators easier because when they come in, if an integrator's residential, they start speccing commercial a little bit. They already know these products because they put them in a home before and they can now very easily put them in a hotel, in a restaurant. So I wanted to congratulate you guys on an amazing show. I think that the work you're doing is super important.
Well, we're just the hosts, the facilitators. It's the manufacturers bringing their A game with their great exhibits and their new products, and the attendees, coming from all 50 states and a number of international countries,
Yeah.
coming together at the show. We had over 30% first-time attendees this year. So
Hey, that's awesome.
exciting that there's new faces, coming to the show, and that's great for the manufacturers, but it's also great for those that are interested in learning and getting both for professional development personally and for their companies. How do they accelerate their businesses? How do they learn what's next? What are the future trends? So it's definitely a great opportunity. I also want to give a shout out to our friends at Technology Designer. They put on the second year of Day of Discovery, 1-day program for designers, architects, and builders, and helping that design build community get exposure to technology and learn how they need to partner with system integrators to provide their clients with the best solutions. And so that's something that we're still definitely evangelizing, that the channel partners need to work together very closely with these other stakeholders to provide their clients with the best solutions.
So my last question I have for you, Jason, is, this year we've done it. What do we have in store for next year's shows?
Well, a lot of people ask, like, oh, where is it going to be next year? Well, we'll be back in Denver,
Yep.
same week, same facility. In fact, we already started planning the show ahead of the past show, so we've already, been rebooking exhibitor spaces for next year.
Awesome.
Very excited to have all our major brands returning. Booking similar spaces for next year. Definitely some movement around. It's not just, hey, you get the same spot, same location.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some changes. So that's nice. Keeps the show floor fresh and a new experience for next year. And of course, we'll welcome many new brands to the show next year as we keep trying to grow the show. And I think that's what's exciting about the one time, one place is, it is an event that's a discovery experience, right? And so I think people will walk away from this year's show with a lot of takeaways and great ideas and product ideas for their projects moving forward. And come this time next year, everybody will gather again in Denver and do it all over again. And it's something to look forward to. And I'm sure a lot of folks watching this, if you didn't attend, you missed out, and you should
missed
definitely plan
out.
to move your calendars for next year.
Yeah, we're gonna give you the best we can, show you the best experience that we can give you without being there, but you really got to be there. Well, Jason, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Good talking to you as always, and thanks for helping me kick off our replay event.
Thanks, Steph. Enjoy, everyone. Until next time, take care.
You too. Bye. All right, that was awesome. Thank you so much to Jason McGraw and the Emerald team for all of their support of us and helping us support them. So now, Megan, let's get into some products.
Yeah, we're going to start with something that is from our friends at Sony, and this is actually the best rAVe product. So this is their large format 4K display, and it can be used for a variety of applications like corporate, education, retail, public spaces, but also in your bedroom, in your living room, or anywhere in your home that you want to display with no glare. So let's check this video out.
The FW98 BZ53L series, now integrated with deep black non-glare. It's basically our own proprietary technology to combat ambient light. So on the left-hand side, you'll see our original series that we upgraded. It was the BZ50L. This is what you conventionally see in any other application that does not have ambient light. So say movie theaters where you have the ability to turn off the light, this is a perfect one for you. But what we've created is an ability to combat ambient light. So if you're putting it in an installation where you have floor-to-ceiling windows, or think about football Sunday and you want to watch in your living room with the full lights on, you will not experience any reflection on this panel, but we don't sacrifice on the color, the brightness, and the black levels, which is something completely different in today's market.
Okay, so this next product comes to us from HD Distributing. And yes, they're a distributor, but they have this exclusive partnership with SBC. So they kind of technically both have ownership over this product. And this is going to be the SBC branded 0.7 millimeter chip on board DV LED display. Say that 5 times fast. This is made for kind of high traffic environments like your corporate lobby, retail, control rooms, broadcast, anywhere where that narrow pixel pitch really comes into really high value. And this actually won our best new LED display award. So congratulations to HD Distributing. They're so cool. And we really, really love this display.
Okay, let's get into the audio side of things for a bit, and we're going to talk about Sonos. So this video is a dealer exclusive Era 100 Pro PoE Power over Ethernet speaker from Sonos. So this one is for commercial or light commercial applications like retail stores, restaurants, that kind of thing, and it's sold exclusively through the CI channel. And this one is also the winner of the best new Pro audio product from rAVe Pubs.
That's awesome, because this is their first kind of foray into this kind of market, like commercial, because Sonos, I have one right here. It's for your house. So I thought it was really exciting that they were kind of making a foray into commercial and that they're selling that directly through the channel. I think that's awesome. So
yeah,
congratulations.
And they have such quality stuff. It's going to be exciting to watch them.
Yeah, for sure. So this next product comes to us from Axis Communications, and this is going to be the 2N IP style. So it's an IP-based intercom and access control solution. It also won an award from us for Best New Security Solution. Check out this video.
This is going to be our 2N IP style intercom that we have. It's going to be a standalone intercom, and that really just means that it's also a door controller, it's an access control product, as well as an intercom. But what this is going to be, it's a co-developed intercom from 2N and Axis Communications. So it has a 5 megapixel camera from Axis with our own in-house Axis ArtPEC 7 chipset. So you've got fantastic image quality on here. You have a 10-inch touch display that's on here. We're showcasing right here one of our customizable web interfaces on here, so I can go in and program these buttons to go to different types of sub-menus. So here we can go to like a subdirectory, and we can add our photos on here, and we can navigate through our directory. I have a QR code overlay, and I can scan QR codes to access on this device. We also have our PIN code access, so I can use PIN codes to enter on here. Everything for door access is built into this, so you've got your door controller. We can power a door strike off of this directly off of PoE, Power over Ethernet. If you have a lot of users managed through here, you have a full screen keypad on here where I can type a name of a specific user, and then I can have it dial out that way. We call all types of different destinations, but we do have our own mobile app called My2N. We can call a variety of different answering stations, softwares that we have, phone clients, PBXs. The list really does go on.
We're back. Let's talk about some furniture, because as you mentioned yesterday when we were talking about CEDIA Expo, furniture specifically is a bigger part of CEDIA Expo than I would say like other commercial pro shows. We love a massage chair for a home theater. I think that was some of our team's favorite booths to visit. So we checked out rAVe, and they have this new flex furniture. It's modular, it's ergonomic, it's designed to enhance flexibility, productivity, and comfort in the workplaces. And that also includes educational environments and collaborative spaces. So let's check it out.
I'd like to talk to you about our new Flex Fold furniture that recently started shipping. This collection features a total of 3 pieces available in this nice black finish. What makes this product unique is it's really easy to assemble and install. The frame comes pre-assembled, as you can see here on the right, and it easily unfolds. And just like that, that entire frame is assembled. The shelves on the product are magnetic and are kind of captured by the round support columns on the outside, so you easily just set the shelves in there. And with a total of 12 screws, this whole piece of furniture goes together in less than 20 minutes.
So that did actually win a product award as well, and it won Best New Mount Solution. But let me explain, it is not technically a mount, but it fits in so well with the full suite of all of rAVe's products that we still wanted to award this to them. So yes, you can be like, Stephanie, that doesn't make sense, Stephanie. Well, sorry, that's what we decided to do with the editorial team this time. So I feel like they deserve that award, and I did really like this product. So
okay. That's why. And at the end of the day,
you didn't argue with me, but
you're the judge. Well, I come from a mounting company, so
yeah, I know, and so I felt like you would be like, no, that doesn't make sense. It does in my brain, and
okay.
Yeah,
got it. It's an award winner. It's fantastic. Check it out. So this next video we're going to show you is the Patchbox system from Synergy Micro Solutions. It's a new innovative cable management system that you can use a server room, a data center, network infrastructure setups. It's designed to streamline and organize all of your cables so things are nice and tidy. And this won the Best in-Field Integrator product. Let's check out that video.
So what we are is with a retractable cable, you always have the right size cable with you at all times. So we simply install our cable cassette into our frame. I can pull the cable out and I can lock it into whatever length I need. So the beauty of that is I'm never going to fish through my bag and have the wrong size cable with me. So if I do a lot of Mac work and I need to go back into the rack and make changes, I can readjust my cable length for whatever that job is. So our rack, we go in nice and clean and we stay nice and clean.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're back. So, Megan, just like I had a really cool interview yesterday with Arlen Schweiger of CE Pro, you have a really cool interview today with Mark Coxon of AVI SPL. So,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we love Mark. He's a frequent contributor to rAVe and Launch Code. So be sure to check out his stuff on the site. He also is part of AVI SPL's XTG group. And he just, all around, like, he has a good mix of technical and business. So I think he's really good at explaining things. And I always like his top picks from the show. So let's see what his top 3 picks were for the show and what he thought about it. Hello, we are joined right now by Mark Coxon of AVI SPL's XTG group. Hey, Mark, it's so good to see you.
Nice to see you guys again, too.
So you're freshly back from Denver Commercial Integrator Expo. What were your general thoughts on the show?
You know, it was fun to go back to the show. I did go last year. I felt like the show had improved this year from where it was last year. Had a little more traffic on the commercial side, which was great. Got to see a couple of the smart stage sessions and see some really smart people talk at the show, which was great as well. And for me, like, there's always a little bit of nostalgia because I did a residential integration for the first 7-8 years of my career. So being in the co-located with Cedia for me is a little bit of a nostalgic return to my roots in AV, I think. So I always get a kick out of that as well, and seeing some people that maybe I haven't seen in a few years, through the Infocom travels that I do. So.
Yeah, I think always connections with people are at the heart of any trade show you go to. But there were also lots of products you saw. Before we get into your top 3 products from the show, what are some trends that you saw happening on the show floor?
Well, I mean, I think trends at the show for the CIX Expo, for me, obviously a continued movement towards fit and finish. Right. So when you see brands like K-Array or what Sonance is doing, or some of these brands that are on the floor there that have products that bridge the gap between the two, there's really an enhanced focus on the fit, finish, and aesthetic design of a product, as opposed to like, well, this just needs to be white so it can go in an acoustic ceiling tile. So who cares,
Yeah.
right? So I think that's a continued movement. I think there's a continued movement towards personalization and ease of use within products, using more and more software-based systems to create more flexibility as companies are still determining how they're using space moving forward. Flexibility becomes something that becomes a superpower in a product that can be changed or reconfigured for different use cases. So I think we're seeing more and more of that happen as well. And so I think those trends will continue to play out, honestly, as we move towards kind of this new future of working in 3 spaces. Right, which is really where we're at. And I don't think we're going to go back to having a single space to work. And so this show is an interesting place to see all of that kind of combine and come together.
Yeah, there was a lot of focus, I think, on like IMCCA did a lot. So there's a lot of focus on the pro side, especially about corporate enterprise, those kind of things. And residential, we're seeing a lot of those integrators because, like you mentioned, like home offices are really getting outfitted as if they're a conference room sometimes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah. And I think like I said, we'll continue to see that as time marches on. And it really then just becomes, what is the best place for the task at hand, and having a place for each task as opposed to a place for work, because we know work is different minute to minute, hour to hour, meeting to meeting. And so how are we developing spaces that are best for those tasks and letting people choose to migrate between those spaces in order to do the task in the best way that it can be done? And so we're always trying to help people do that. But yeah, workplace experience is a big movement right now, and everybody's trying to figure it out. So I think CI Expo did a good job of bringing together some partners that, kind of, I guess, mirrored that sentiment, right? Of flexible products, things that are easy to move, change, reconfigure. All of those things are super important today as we look at the way that we're using space.
So let's get into it. What are your top 3 products? What's the first one?
The first one, people are going to laugh at me, but that's okay. It's a super simple product. It was a salamander product. It's called Acadia. It's a floor stand for a TV, right? It's not a cart. It's not a big, bulky, black cart. What it is pretty much a stand that uses leverage. It has a small base. It has a pillar. It leans against the wall. You don't have to actually even connect it to the wall. Just leans against the wall. The weight of the television when you put it on there actually creates leverage between the base and the wall and holds it upright. Super slim. Lots of options for accessories. So if you want to connect a digital signage player to it and it's digital signage, great. If you want to connect an MTR computer to it or an Android device, they have little mounts for that. They have a place to put a sound bar with a camera if you want to turn it into an impromptu teleconferencing device. The great part about it is, you can take the TV off of it, move it to another wall, lean it up against that wall, put the TV back on it, put the accessories back on it. Now it's over there, right? So if you need to reconfigure a space, change things around, super simple to do. Working in the mounting world for years, always trying to think about where are their studs and what kind of anchors am I using and how is this working? To just have a 4-inch, thin piece of metal that goes to the floor and supports the TV to the floor. It's ADA compliant, right? Like all of those things are the way that they're supposed to be. I think it's really, really cool. So Salamander Acadia, if you haven't seen it, check it out. But if you have a space that needs to be flexible where you move things around a lot, it might be a really good solution for you.
And I know a lot of people mounts aren't a priority, but both of us previously have worked at companies that manufacture mounts. So we both think they're cool and very important and should be thought of more. So I really like this product. Unfortunately, we don't have a video from the show, but you should still check it out because it's awesome. What is your next pick?
The next one I was going to talk about was a company that was kind of first to AV over IP, I would say, or one of the first ones. Is Just Add Power. They were one of the first companies to kind of start using the network to distribute video, before even HD base T was a big thing that people were talking about, right? Just Add Power was out there making these devices. So they have a product. It's a Tyler MCQX, I think is what it's called. Max Color is the series. It's a new series that carries up to 10-bit, HDR content, etc. But the interesting thing about the device is it just goes on the network and it has 4 inputs. So if you think about network topology, if I have a whole bunch of sources and I've got transmitters on all those sources and I'm putting them into the network switch, this one allows you to pull any 4 of those out of the network switch and put them and tile them into a screen in different types of arrays. You can set up dashboards where there are 3 at the bottom, 1 large, or 4 equal size, or however you want to set that up through the software. You can preview that just through your computer screen. So you can get a 30 frame per second preview. So you can set up those things before they go live out to the television sets that you want. And it allows you to tile multiple streaming pieces of content or devices to one output and then play that output on any of the receivers that you have on the televisions within the space. So you can play it on 8 of them, or you can play it on 1 of them, or however you want to do that. We've seen tiling happen in like the SDVOE products, which are some video over IP products, but those take the 10G network, which not a lot of people have, right? So to be able to do this on a 1 gigabit network, which everybody has, to be able to add this device in and then be able to source whichever transmitters, whichever devices are on the network is really, really cool. Even just to do things like operational awareness, or to be able to track 2 or 3 meetings at a time, or to create a dashboard of different maybe support programs you're running or computers you're running, et cetera, is kind of a cool thing. So I thought it was a great use case for a quad tiler based on a video over IP network. And, kudos to Just Add Power for continuing to invent new products, even though they've been doing it for 2010, 2009, somewhere around there. I think Just Add Power started doing it.
It's been at least 15 years, I think. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to play a quick video clip of that product and then we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Taft with Just Add Power here at CEDIA 2024, a mile high in Denver, Colorado. We're having a great show. This is our multi-award winning video tiler. Allows you to watch multiple things at once. With one tiler, you can watch 4 things. With 2 tilers, you can dynamically put more windows within a window. This has an end-user USB interface that can be done with a USB mouse or in mouse mode on a mobile device. You can also do these same things with a control system. Let's say that the dog here is my favorite game, football game. I can just double-click it, instantly goes full screen, then goes back. So just showing you the ability to pull up what's most important. You can have audio track as well. We've got multiple presets here that'll let us do all sorts of cool things with arranging your windows, sizing them. You can size everything on the fly, arrange it. You could pull up and just show a ticker. You could pull down and just show a score if you'd like to. I'm going to go to another mode here, which gives you 4 windows. I can drag these around, and unlike anybody else doing tiling, I can adjust transparency. This is 40% transparent. You now could watch multiple games and not miss any of the action. And let's say that the gummy bear game here is your most important. You just double click it and it goes full screen. You're watching that. The game that went to commercial is now down in the corner. Vice versa, you can kick it right back. So this is a phenomenal piece. It's shipping now. It's 4K 60 444. It's from our Max Color series, and it is our Max Color tiler. For more information, you can visit us at justaddpower.com. Thank you.
Okay, Mark, one last product. What is it?
Okay, so I kind of went back and forth. There were a few other things on the floor, but the one I wanted to bring forward that a couple other people had noticed and thought was noteworthy too, a new product from Aurora. It's called React's Room. And really what it is a small touch panel that sits on the table. It would sit at every seated position. So if you're thinking about having a multi-person conference in a room, every seated position would have one of these panels. It kind of echoes back to what some of the old teleconferencing systems were when you had, daisy chain gooseneck mics at every single station with a mute button. These are actually Dante enabled. They have a microphone in them. They're Dante enabled, so you can do mix minus with them around the table so that you're amplifying people that might be farther away through a little speaker that's built into the panel. Has the ability to do AV control, to be an AV control system. So if you were actually running the meeting, you could trigger something in the room, change the lights, change the TV input, etc. Has a way to vote, so it has the voting that some of the old conferencing systems used to have. An easy way to raise your hand, to just hit raise hand, and it'll raise your hand in the soft codec system that you're using, etc. And then to mute and unmute your mic if you're having a sidebar conversation or you're eating your lunch during a lunch and learn. You don't want your stuff rustling on the table. But I just thought it was a really great example of some ideas that have been around for a long time are still really good ideas. And there may be some opportunities to take new technology like Dante, like a touch panel, like soft codec integration, and bring some of those features into something that might seem old and not innovative, but to really update it to be a really compelling tool for a modern meeting with the tools that we have today. So I thought that was kind of a cool product that came out from Aurora.
Yeah. And I know we're going to play that video right after this.
Hi, this is Paul Harris with Aurora Multimedia from CIX 2024, and I'm here to show you the React's Room. So what is a React's Room? Well, for 30 years, we've been doing conference rooms the same way. You throw a touch panel somewhere down on the table, and the customer goes, wow, I'm paying that much for an expensive remote control toy. So what we've done instead is we put purpose to the typical touch panel. So what goes behind the concept is you do a small touch panel, which has a lot of real estate room because it's a 1-to-1 aspect ratio, but everybody gets their own touch panel. So that means everybody can do their own control, and they're fully customizable to make it look, feel, and behave any way you want it to. But what's different about this is it's a full beamforming Dante AES67 microphone with a built-in speaker. So we're creating a beamforming array at the table level, which makes the sound pickup better because, as we all know, closer you are to the microphone, the better it's going to sound. And we're creating a speaker array at the table. Now, because each one has their own speaker and microphone, now we could do a mix minus at the table level as well. But now that they all have their own seating placements, it does just that. When you first book the room, you could put seating placement names on the panel so everybody knows where to sit, so you don't get that awkward moment of who do I sit next to, where do I sit, and so forth. It's been predetermined. So even on this panel we're showing, you could do seating locations. Now, to further it, we could do full voting on here. So I can go into here and I could vote. Who thinks this is the greatest system in the world? Yes. And then you voted, and then it can show the vote results if you wanted to and store them. Next most awkward moment, when to interrupt somebody. Raising the hand, request to speak. So you could do a raise your hand button. It'll make the LED on the back blink, and you can even send the message to all the other panels to say, Paul Harris, in this case, me, has the floor to speak next. And in this case, since I have the microphone, that's all who you're going to speak into today. So anyway, with that aside, you could do full AV control. And although you can't really hear it too well because, well, it's audio and you're going to have to hear it here, we could play audio out of it right now. Oh, sorry, wrong panel. I guess we got to do it from this panel. Audio playback, and there we go.
High seats are best for football fans.
So as you can hear, it's very clear, very precise, and the concept is you're going to lower the voice, not raise the voice, because it's in front of you, which increases the security of the room, because now you get the air gap to the walls and the ceiling, as opposed to Zoom bars, which project across the room and try to pick the microphone up, which does not work very well. And the beamforming that goes on the ceiling still has to project down from the ceiling itself, and the same thing with the speakers. So this solves all the audio qualities. Now, if you're hard of hearing or language translation, we got Bluetooth Auracast built into this, as well as a tip ring sleeve on the side as well. Now, if you want to hear more bass in it, we make this bass speaker called the BX25. It's an add-on option. You mount it under the table because it is bass. And I'll play a bass song. Here we go. Come on. So yes, we're pumping it here. So that's our bass add-on. You can also add as many as you want to it as well. Now, we took it one step further. We have the model, which is called, this is called the RX-T4D. This is the RX-T4DV. And the difference is it's got our VPX AV over IP built into it. So that means that every single person has their own laptop input where they can plug their laptop and seamlessly switch it on the screen itself. In addition to that, we could back charge up to 100 watts to charge the laptop, and it's got a display port out so we could put a secondary larger monitor there as well. So we've truly solved all the problems of a conference room, and we turned the control panel into an actual useful tool that is used on an everyday basis between the people who are using the rooms, and whether it's the far end or locally, we've recreated and we've redefined the typology of AV by doing this. And this is called a REAX room, which is used with a bunch of other components, but we're going to focus on this panel for now, or this video is going to get really ridiculously long. And I'm sure the rAVe guy behind the camera is probably saying, okay, shut up already. We got enough video for now, too many minutes over. But we'll end it here. You're going to see all this at auroramm.com, and thank you for your time.
Okay, I know we said 3 products, but you also had something that you want to talk about that wasn't a product, but something you found really beneficial at the show.
Yeah, and I don't want to seem biased because I know the folks at HD Distributing. And so I'm going to put that on the table. I know Steve Garber and Dave Olson that run HD Distributing. They're good people. They brought a product to the show. It's a product, it's just a LED product. There's a 0.7 millimeter LED product. It's made by a company called SBC, right, which is a product that they distribute. On its own, I would never just mention lower pixel pitch LED. I think that's the march that we're on, and there are a lot of companies that build it, and a lot of them build it well. But what I found really interesting about talking to Dave and Steve just about the product that they brought to the show was how much they knew about it, right? And even me being someone who's tried to learn a lot about LED over time, you know, the amount of attention to detail that can go into choosing a product. You know, we think about pixel pitch, and we think about the controller, and we think about the cabinet size. Those are usually the things we think about with LED, and that's a good starting point. But, you know, when I was talking to Dave and Steve, they were like, well, what are they using? Are they using Nation Star? Or are they using King Light? Like, King Light is a subgrade of the actual LED packages that they glue on the boards. And if you're doing an operations center, you might not want to have King Light LEDs on that board. You might want to have Nation Star, which is the higher quality. Like to know that, or to know things like in a glue on board or a chip on board product that you can calibrate them at the cabinet level. But if the cabinet's power supply is running at a certain frequency, and then you put that same module in a different cabinet, maybe the colors come out a little different. Or do you calibrate it at a module level? So every module, no matter which cabinet you put in, is actually calibrated the same, right? Like those were like little tiny things, nuances to LED. But if you're an integrator and you're wanting to work with somebody, you're putting in a emergency operations center that's doing 24/7, content that's high risk, high reward,
Yeah.
you might want to work with somebody that knows these things, that understands your application and says, hey, yeah, you can save 20% by going to this product, but the subcomponents are different. And those problems are actually going to mean you're going to have much more maintenance, return trips, customer problems, et cetera, down the way. You should probably spend 20% more to get a product from this company because they make it this way. They calibrate it this way. They use these subcomponents, and that's going to make your experience much better, your customer experience much better. And I guess I appreciated that conversation because it reminds me that, there's a lot more that goes into product design than a spec sheet. And, they actually go over to China, they walk these factories, they see how people are building stuff before they pick products, and they understand when they come back what they're selling. And I think many times, we sell a brand, we sell a logo. Once it ships out of our facility, especially if you're a distributor, they're a distributor. Once it ships out of your facility, it's theirs. Like they own it. You don't own support. But to be in that world and care that much about what you distribute, I thought was really refreshing. And so anyways, I wanted to give a nod to that because it was an actual, an educational conversation I had with some people that I trust and admire. And so I just thought it was interesting to share with the group here as well.
Yeah, it is interesting. Any last thoughts on the show before we let you go?
No, I honestly think the show hasn't reached its potential. I'll just say that. Like, I think that a lot of people have maybe potentially hesitated coming to Denver. I would give it a shot. Denver's a fun city. It's a really great city to be in. There are a lot of great people there moving around. If you are an exhibitor or a potential exhibitor, it could unlock a new audience for you. There are a lot of folks that are there. And I really think, especially on, I'm on the West Coast. So on years that other shows are in Orlando, right? A lot of people don't go from the West Coast to Orlando that year. So could it be a way that 2 months later or 3 months later, you're able to reach people that didn't want to make a cross-country trek, to be able to be in Denver, which is a very central location, and maybe get the audience that didn't want to travel from coast to coast during that year. And the opposite, people coming from New York to Vegas sometimes doesn't happen, right? So I think it's a really great opportunity. I think it's a regional show that could be very, very valuable for a lot of people. And so if you've been sitting on the fence, 2025, you might want to show up and see what it's all about, because I've had a good time the 2 times that I've been there and found it very refreshing. So.
Well, we'll see you there next year in 2025. Mark, if people want to learn more about you or connect with you, where can they find that information?
I'm always on X at @AVPhenom. If you want to go there, I'm there. If you've abandoned X, like some people have, I'm on LinkedIn, the safe Microsoft-owned social media network, LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. You can find me there, Mark Coxon. If you search LinkedIn, Mark Coxon, I'm the first result usually there. And then, of course, I write at rAVe Pubs. So rAVe Pubs Blog Squad, click on the authors tab and find Mark. That's me.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today. And now let's bring back Steph.
Okay, so also important to note that the CIX section of the show also had some conferencing products. So this next one is from Televic that we're going to show you guys. This is a multimedia conferencing system designed for use in parliamentary, council, and corporate environments. And this is I think it's called Unicos is how you pronounce it. It integrates audio, video, and document sharing into one interface, which is what makes it so good for those big parliamentary meetings. So it's really, really good for those meetings where you have a ton of people. Maybe you're not all seated at one boardroom table, and you need that really high level of collaboration and engagement. So that's from Televic. Thought it was really cool. Thought it was worth mentioning.
Yeah, I love that. So this next video that we're going to check out is from SoundTube. It's another award winner. This one, the best new AV over IP product, which I know is a highly competitive category. So this has to be good. This is the SoundTube DSM-16. It's a 16-channel digital signal processor designed to manage audio distribution and processing across multiple zones in commercial. And why have me talk about it? Let's check out what they have to say.
I'm here to talk about the Dante System Manager. This is our new DSP and controller, and what this does is it allows for a Dante network to be used in the home or into small commercial installs. What it does is it takes everything analog in and it puts it on the network. That way you can use our processing to use a Dante network in a small home or a small commercial install.
Okay, so the next product that we want to show you guys, this is the Planar Direct Light Ultra series. So this is a line of fine pitch LED video wall displays designed for high performance environments. They're seamless video walls in professional and commercial, or professional, commercial, and residential. So they're engineered for applications that require that very high image quality, high color accuracy, very reliable. So it's in terms of a professional environment, it's really going to be good for those control rooms, broadcast studios, corporate settings, et cetera, et cetera. So love that. Just wanted to give it a mention. I thought Planar is really cool because they do not have separate residential or commercial lines. They're like, this is our product. It's good. You put it where it works. So
I love that.
Yeah, I kind of think that that's a little bit of a different approach, but I did see a few brands at both shows that were like this. Planar actually won a Best of Cedia award from us, but for this show, they won Best Booth, which technically they towed the line between the two shows, but because it was like a, hey, we're both, I thought it still counted. So yeah, and their booth was amazing. So I really enjoyed spending time in it and getting to check out their products.
Yeah, they have a lot of cool stuff. And you're right. I love that they're like, why do we need to make this separate? It's the same product.
It's just good. So yeah, you put it where it works for you. So I think that is a good and cool approach to doing things. It's a little different.
So this next video we're going to show you is from Symbol Logic. It is their ECAV, which is Enterprise Level Audio Video Control System. This is designed to streamline and simplify AV integration for commercial spaces like corporate environments, educational institutions, conference centers. It provides advanced control and automation features for managing multiple AV devices and systems, which improves both the user experience and operational efficiency. And Steph, which this also won an award. Which one was it?
This was Best New Software Solution. It's very easy to use, very integrator friendly. So we just wanted to, shout it out and give it some coverage. So yeah.
Yay. And so another video we're going to show you is the Future Automation UCH unit channel. It's a versatile motorized mounting system that is designed to house and conceal AV equipment. So if you don't want to see your flat panels, projection screens within a beautiful architectural space, you don't have to. And this one, best service/product you probably didn't see.
Showing off our new UCH unichannel recessed shade pocket. This is a modular system for hiding window shades in a ceiling space. The main benefit of this is rather than a traditional all metal can like most manufacturers are doing for their pockets, this actually is a mixture of wood and aluminium, which means that we can customize the size of this pocket to suit whatever product you're fitting. So if you're fitting Lutron shades or Crestron shades or curtain tracks or projector screens, it doesn't really matter because we'll actually just customize the pocket to suit whatever you want to fit. The other benefit of the wood and metal makeup means it's a lot more sound absorption, so actually your shades are going to run quieter. You've also got modular edge trims that fit on here for a number of different finishing options. So depending whether or not you're going to sheetrock and mud the ceilings, or you're doing a panelized ceiling, or you want to put the pocket against the wall or pull it away from the wall, we can chop and change these edge trims to suit whatever install location you want. The same with the ends of the pocket as well. We can change these to suit wherever the location of the room for the pocket is, so you can get a really good finish on here.
So isn't that really cool?
Yeah, it's awesome.
And so the history and kind of idea behind this award of best service or product you probably didn't see is Gary and I, and anyone else that we take advice or anything from, when and the others in the editorial team who want to submit for this award, because we don't take submissions, we just talk amongst ourselves and build these with the editorial team at rAVe. We do this for a company that's either new to our industry or new to us that we've just discovered, and typically to a product or service on the show floor that we feel like didn't get enough noise or coverage that it deserves. So that's a little bit about what this award means. So yeah,
I think it's an important award, Steph, because there's so much on the show floor that we don't see, and especially if it's like a smaller booth at a large show, you might not make it there. And I think it's a good way to get the word out about products that our team loves.
Exactly. And there are always going to be the Sonys and the LGs and the Samsungs, which are all incredible. But, since we're journalists and we're a trade publication that wants to cover the entire show floor, we thought it was important to also cover some small companies or companies that are new or companies that we had never heard of that we thought would be important for our readers to know about too.
Yeah,
so,
I love it. So let's jump back into product videos because we're coming to an end soon. So the next video is from Aurora Multimedia. This is their Reax. It's a unique IP-based control system, and it uses a non-proprietary JavaScript-based control engine. It's flexible, scalable, it's easy to integrate with other systems, and this won Best Demo at the show.
Yes, and we showed you that full video earlier with Mark, so we were just showing you kind of a shorter show floor type video, but it really is an incredible demo. So go watch the full video again, because Paul Harris really is so good at giving that demo. That's why it won the award. He's just really, really comprehensive. You can tell that this is his baby, his brainchild, and he's really passionate about it. And I think that's what makes it such a fun demo to watch him give.
I agree. Steph, we have only one more video, so do you want to do the honors?
Yeah, sure. So this is from Morgan, which was in the CIX section, of course. So this is its Queen series. So this is it's in its control panel line, and the Queen series are one of the key elements within this line. It's very user-friendly, obviously visually appealing. If you look at it, they're designed for seamless control of home functions, lighting, climate, security, entertainment. And this is primarily designed for those luxury residential environments. Of course, like, they're gorgeous. They're called the Queen series, but its features, it's got centralized control, scene automation, and integration with third-party systems. And it also makes it adaptable for some commercial applications, especially in high-end settings. And that is why it won Most Interesting Product Award, because I have not seen any that look like that before. They're so pretty. So yeah.
Steph, can I put you on the spot for a second and ask you what you found most interesting about this product?
I think just its functionality and its look, because I haven't seen very many other panels that look like that on the market. So yeah, I think that, they took a little different design option than most control companies would do. And I think that is what made it so interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, Steph, this has been fabulous. I love that this is a quick overview of some of the things we saw at the show. We have hundreds of product videos on
literally
ravepubs.com from both Commercial Integrator and CEDIA Expo. So be sure to check those out at ravepubs.com, and you can just drop down and select whichever trade show you want to look at. I would recommend both.
Yeah, we did over 660 product videos, and that includes videos from both shows. So really, we have barely scratched the surface. We would love to play all nearly 700 videos for you, but we would be here for a very long time. So that's up to you. Y'all go choose your own adventure and go look for the brands that you want to see. There are so many, and I am looking forward to an even bigger and better show next year. So hope that you guys enjoyed us replaying just a little bit of what that was like. And I hope that you enjoyed the format that we did this in. If you want to see something different next time, feel free to email me, steph@ravepubs.com. I love taking you guys' comments and things into consideration when we build these, because we build them for you. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
And don't forget to join us at the end of October for launch week 10. It's going to be super exciting. We're going to have some new product previews, I'm sure. We're going to talk about things like AV over IP, experience design, a lot of AI chat. So make sure to head over to launch.com, which is the website you're watching this on, and register for that event.
Yep, 21st through 24th October.
Awesome.
We'll see you there. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll definitely see each other there. All right.
Okay.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.